The marketing tactic called private traffic has been extremely popular lately. If you don't know, I recently had a webinar all about private traffic. So if you want to go back and kind of learn the basics of what is private traffic and everything that you need to know about it, I will include a link to the webinar. But I know that many of you, some of the feedback that I got from the webinar or from other times that I've written or talked about private traffic is that I think a lot of people are still trying to understand exactly how to operate these private traffic WeChat groups, what type of content they can share in the groups, how to make the groups active and engaged. Just looking for more case studies and examples beyond Perfect Diary. Many of you might know, but Perfect Diary is kind of the cosmetics brand Perfect Diary has really become the key case study for a strong private traffic strategy. I am super interested in this topic, so I have joined the private traffic WeChat groups of a number of brands, and I'm constantly monitoring them and looking and seeing how they're, keeping the discussion going, getting people engaged. So I wanted to share a couple of the things that I've seen lately, and maybe that will help you if you are thinking about running your own group or looking for some more kind of benefits, some more ways that you can justify and get ROI from these groups. I think that a lot of people get really stuck on driving sales, but there's actually many, many other benefits. So we can talk about actually some of these examples. None of these examples are related to driving sales directly. So the first two cool things that I saw were from the Chinese cosmetics brand Little Ondine. We've created videos about Little Ondine before, so if you're interested in learning more about that brand and who they are, maybe you've never heard of them before, you can check out those videos. So one thing that they did was they held a contest to win some products. And the contest, to participate in the contest, you simply had to share your favorite beauty blogger and why you liked him or her, what was special about them, what attracted you to them. And the more that you wrote and the more that you shared, the more likely they said that that you were going to win. They really wanted to understand what was it about this beauty blogger that you really liked. They shared some of the, when they announced the winners, they shared some of the examples in the group, some of what people had submitted, and they wrote these whole paragraphs with all of these images. Anyway, I think that this is an excellent tactic for brands to learn what influencers they should work with, right? There's no better way to select influencers than by asking members of your WeChat group, asking your consumers who are the influencers that you like. And they're learning in the consumer's language what it is that they like about these influencers. So they might also be learning, what style of influencer the consumers like. I mean, there's so much that you can learn from a contest like this. Another thing that I saw Little Ondine do is that they are looking to create offline focus groups in 3 different cities in China. So to find consumers to be in these focus groups, they shared a survey in the group, said if you are located in one of these 3 cities and you want to win prizes and maybe be a participant, apply to be a participant, take the survey and we'll announce the winners. So the survey asked the consumer a lot about not necessarily about cosmetics, a lot about their hobbies, like what are your favorite hobbies, where have you traveled, like things like that. Like they were looking to understand more about. I think they were looking for a specific style or personality of consumer to create a focus group. It seemed like they wanted, based on the questions, they were trying to find someone who's really into like street style, maybe hip hop. They were asking like, do you skateboard or longboard, things like that. So I think they're definitely looking for like that style consumer. And I thought that was a really great way to, you know, get consumers. Obviously, if they're involved in the focus group, they're going to become more loyal, more interested in the brand. They could, you know, they get to win prizes by being in the focus group. So thought that was also a really great example. And then the other example that I wanted to share was from activewear brand Maia Active. They are using their WeChat private traffic groups to help develop new products. I know this is something that they've done for a while because we actually had the co-founder of Maia Active on the China Marketing podcast a couple months ago. And she talked a lot about their private traffic strategy and how they actually leveraged private traffic to increase sales during the COVID-19 quarantine in China when other brands were struggling. So if you're interested in hearing her talk more about that and how they leveraged private traffic during that period, you know, definitely go back and check out that podcast episode. But this very recent example that I saw, you know, they shared a picture in the group with about 8 different looks, different styles of clothing, and labeled them, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever. And then they also shared a survey, and they asked all the members of the group to go through and select which products were their favorite, and they could choose more than one. They didn't give any incentive, you know, they weren't giving away free products or anything like that. They were just purely saying like, hey, we are developing new products. We'd love to hear your opinion. Let us know which ones you like. And a majority of the people in the, you know, several hundred person group responded and gave their thoughts. What was interesting was that also many group members, you know, sent messages in the group sharing which products they liked and didn't like, and kind of giving additional feedback outside of choosing like A, B, C, D. You know, for example, one woman said, oh, I love this option, but because I have a little kid, I feel like it would get dirty and it's not practical for me. But if I was younger, you know, I would definitely, and I didn't have kids, I would definitely choose that option first. So I think that hopefully these 3 different types of content will give you a little bit of inspiration for your private traffic strategy and how you can really leverage these groups and get more out of them.